5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Oracle Leshrac is pretty sick because obviously with Leshrac you want to go for these early damage items, but it's costs you your health. Like you just like don't have the survivability, and now you just do, and you can just go ham bone in these fights, just dealing so much damage.
Ham bone?
Ham bone. You never heard that?
Never heard. No. All right. What is that one?
It's like going ham, but it's called going ham bone. Ham bone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
See, these are my. This
10
is.
seconds.
I'm just a boomer, I guess. That one might be too old.
5 seconds.
That's good. I'm gonna start using that one.
Some people say ham bone calzone, but I don't like that. I think ham bone is good by itself. I don't understand.
Calzone.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Get that one either.
I don't get it.
Okay, sorry to interrupt your train of thought there. I just had to know.
Yeah, it's all good. They banned the Timber Saw, a hero that typically does very well against a Spectre, and they don't have a lot of answers to it right now because you have an Oracle, and once you have Lotus Orb, that hero pretty much doesn't die. You get like Hood of Defiance, Lotus Orb, and that Timber Saw is immortal.
Yeah. So Timbersaw, yeah, like you said, he just feels immortal against a lot of what they have here. So not something they want to play against, given the fact they have this super early game lineup. Team Brazil looks pretty solid. I'm not sure exactly what's going to round out their draft. They have the option of picking either a 4 or a 3 here, depending on whatever their need is based on Jaguares' last pick. Clockwork generally played as the position 4 or 5. Once in a while, it falls into the 3 if you absolutely need something else in the position 4, but it'll probably be a 4 Clockwork.
Yeah, I think you're right. It makes the most sense. That's what we typically see.
Turn to ban.
And I think now that you have the Spectre reveal, I mean, you can go for. I'm looking at Tidehunter and Underlord and thinking both of these picks are very good this game.
Yeah.
It is done.
Underlord, both
banned the Bat
fairly good. I think Underlord to get them around the map quicker, to hold towers, hold them underneath Leshrac, it would be a lot better than the super high cooldown on Ravage, I feel.
Yeah. I'm kind of leaning more towards the Tidehunter now because it does give you at least almost an infest target if you go for like Blink Dagger eventually, but a lot of times with Tidehunter you want a Dangler, right? Tidehunter isn't usually like the I'm gonna blink in and stun 5 heroes. He's normally like, oh yeah, go on this Leshrac, I dare you, and then blinks in.
Yep. You're a big Dangler fan here.
Yeah.
I'm actually, I've been won over by Dangler type heroes. I used to not really believe that you needed a tank in Dota. It was all about just getting the favorable initiation, but I think you do need somebody who can stand in front of the rest of the team, at least provide information. It's kind of like we see sometimes just the position 5 has to face check things and ends up dying. If you can have a solid hero that doesn't get blown up right away.
That's been like Earth Spirit this whole tournament, right? We've just seen Earth Spirits roll themselves onto high grounds without vision and be like, hey, I found all of them. Like they die. They're like, but hey, you know, all 4 heroes, they're right here if you guys want to go for it.
Hey guys, it's a good time. Consider it.
One thing we didn't even mention was the first phase Earth Spirit ban, of course. Big respect ban here against 4DR.
Yep.
Undefeated on his Earth Spirit this tournament so far.
It really is, though. They've been insane on this mid-Earth Spirit.
Yeah, people underestimated it, man.
Yeah, now they just decide they don't want to deal with it. And there it is. Death Prophet picked up the poor man's Leshrac. A little bit tanky. You're probably going to be playing it into. I mean, they have the option to just counterpick this the Death Prophet.
I think they're fine keeping Leshrac mid. Like Lesh doesn't really lose it. And
no, they're fine with it. Yeah.
You can just still pick Tidehunter or Underlord here. I would go towards Tidehunter. I think Tidehunter is too good. Kraken Shell is amazing against the Skywrath Mage this game. Yeah, there you go.
Ricky, my man,
I'm back at it, dude. A couple days in a row, I guess. I don't know.
It's not just KXY and Tomato sweating about losing their jobs. Ricky's got no need for me anymore. He's getting too powerful.
No way, dude. I need you here, Neph. I'm nothing without you.
Oh, man. At least I'm worth more than Jerry still.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that, man.
But yeah, Tidehunter, it does look fairly good. I'm a little bit concerned about the lack of lockdown outside of the clockwork. I mean, you can set some things up with Last Track, but generally you don't want to initiate the fights. Tidehunter has the super high cooldown and Ravage to worry about, and Oracle and Lifesteal both going to struggle to get on top of heroes. Force staffs are going to be the number one thing that the heroes on Jaguares needs to pick up. There's a solution to everybody on their team.
Yeah, the thing is the reason I like the Tidehunter here is like I see it as like a pretty good counter to the Death Prophet, because every time your Exorcism up, the Ravage is going to be up, and you're going to be using them for fights almost every time. Like Death Prophet would like to push towers, but Tidehunter can just use it to defend a tower. Death Prophet's not a very tanky hero. Like you rely on Spirit Siphon, you have a lot of damage that comes out from Ravage into like Gush Anchor Smash, and if there's a Lifestealer or Lashrak there, I mean, there's no way that hero's going to survive. So
yeah, unless you manage to get the Spirit Siphon off on a Tidehunter and Lifestealer who are going to be in your face.
Mm-hmm. You still Spirit Siphon through Rage as long as you get it off ahead of time, right?
It won't damage the Lifestealer, but it will continue to heal you.
Exactly, that's what I thought. Okay.
Works
Nice.
like that for most magic immune things. Mm-hmm. It's pretty powerful ability.
It is. This should be a fun game. I am a little bit worried about the Oracle here because I think this is a pretty solid Oracle game, and until Spectre has that Manta style and the very convenient Mind Breaker that seems to always drop, I think that Oracle is going to cause them some problems.
All right, Costa Belay on the Lifestealer this game. Let's see what he can accomplish. I'm surprised that he picked up this one. I thought with terribly in the pool he'd grab something like that, but I guess they're looking to close this game out as quickly as possible, given the fact they're playing 4 games in a row. It's a little bit interesting thinking about the psychology of the players and some of the decisions based around like non-gameplay issues. That was something that happened in I think BTS Pro Series 3. It was Sammy's boy's birthday that day.
Yeah.
They lost a game where they really shouldn't have. It looked like they were pushing the high ground just way too quickly, and the game ended up getting drawn out even longer. They lost because I shot them a message afterwards. I'm like, yo, is this what happened here? You're just trying to close out the game and you ended up losing it because you were too aggressive? He's like, yeah, we just wanted the game over with. Because of that, we lost.
Oh my goodness.
It ended up going like an hour anyways. So it's interesting looking at the psychology of players and outside the game here, and this could be why Costa Belay is on a hero where he might not necessarily love playing when Terrorblade was still in the pool, because that's the Costa Belay special, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, TB is one of his best heroes. I don't think he's lost on it this tournament so far. Granted, I think they only picked it once.
100% win rate,
100% win rate. Never lose. The Lifestealer, though, this is one of my favorite things about Valve sometimes when it comes to hats, is they're like, okay, well, we released 1 gold item for Lifestealer, and we want to put another set in the Battle Pass, so I guess we have to make that one also gold, and so now he's just the gold stealer. He's all gold.
He's Alchemist's biggest counter.
Yeah, I mean, I have the same set. It's so funny. He's just so different from what he normally looks like now.
If you go into a showcase mode real quick and you zoom in on that Lifestealer, do you realize his head is this? Well, you can't see it now because he's on the ground. But do you realize his head was this long? He's like a dog or a horse.
His head is not normally that long. I think that's the jaw from the set. It like goes farther out, I'm pretty sure.
I see. He's actually got 2 jaws on my screen right now. Are you looking at this? If you zoom in, you can see his jaw glitching out, and there's also a jaw shooting outwards.
Oh, underneath. Yeah. Okay, that's the regular jaw, I'm pretty sure.
So they just put the new jaw on top of the old jaw. This is just like the morphling thing all over again. Look at us finding these things.
Well, I was gonna say, like, a lot of the cosmetics, what they do is they basically just use the base model and just make sure it doesn't clip onto the skin. So like all this model does is basically extend his face outward. Like the top part of the jaw is new as well. Like his face normally does not come out that far at all.
Yeah, but it's just his regular face underneath all of this is what we're learning.
Exactly, yeah. The base model is still underneath it. It just doesn't clip through. There's a lot of cosmetics like that.
It'll clip through, but he was using his taunt right there.
30 seconds.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're still in a beta.
Still in beta game.
Yeah.
So,
if you open up your files, you'll just see Dota 2 beta. But I'm done stalling for time. We've got actual gameplay to talk about. We're not paused anymore.
I like the ghost turtle in the bottom lane. This thing is sweet. There's a good use of this shimmer.
I mean, this guy barely looks like Tide Hunter. Well, no, not as bad as the other one.
You better get this rune. Oh, Benny got him. And he tips him. The Argentinian.
Bomb no click. I don't know what that means. I like the all chat coming out from these team stuff.
I love it.
Need to brush up on them. Well, both these teams are Brazilian, other than Benny. He's from Argentinian. So we got 9 Brazilians in this game, 1 Argentinian.
That's pretty dang good.
Some
So
Brazilian action coming up for everybody.
yeah, and the one thing is these players don't usually get to play on, you know, the Brazilian server twice. You know, this is going to be 2 teams on low ping. This has not happened before in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, these teams, they usually don't get to play on a Brazilian server once if they're against North American teams.
Yeah. And then when they're playing against, you know, Beast Coast and stuff, well, then you're splitting it.
Yeah, so let's take a look here at the mid matchup, as long as there's not too much. Oh, actually, Benny's dropping
Benny's just
very
getting
low.
slapped. I mean, this is the Tidehunter lane, man. I tell you, it's just too good against the Spectre.
Yeah, in fact, King ID, he just went for this Bracer at the start of the game, so extra sustain, extra damage. You have to be really careful here on Benny.
Look at his build too. He didn't go like the regen Spectre build we normally see. He's kind of, you know, relying on this IO who has a bracer and tether.
Now, this is a little bit bizarre. You'll usually see the IO, if he's with a hero like a Spectre, get a headdress at the start. That way it's doubled up on the Spectre whenever he tethers up to him.
Hayne almost goes down in top lane, but able to peel away, pops a salve, and now KJ, he might be too far out. He doesn't have level 2 on the Mars yet, so he's feeling pretty safe still.
Yeah.
A lot of dueling in the lanes, but mid, tell me, what do you think here? It is they did pick the Shrek before this Death Prophet, so many, you know, chose this lane. So far, it doesn't seem to be that bad for 4DR.
It's actually surprising to me. Mini has a pretty significant base damage advantage, more than 10 over the Leshrac here. Regardless of that, he's managing to keep up with CS fairly well. As the lane goes on, it'll get a little bit easier for 4DR. Just being able to spam out those spells, probably 2 points into Lightning Storm. We will see, though.
I have to imagine, I mean, a lot of people are going the max Crypt Swarm build before maxing Spirit Siphon, is what I've seen. I've seen a lot of Death Prophets go actually 4 points in the Crypt Swarm early, because it is a really good scaling ability, up to 300 damage and a 5-second cooldown. And if you have the mana to sustain it, it's really hard for almost any other mid hero to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, the Spirit Siphon, you're not really going to want to spam against a Leshrac. It's hard to gap that distance, and Leshrac has a lot more movement speed than you, so you have less rundown potential, so he'll just take advantage of the Crypt Swarm's low cooldown and high damage. You can try to zone Leshrac out of the lane and secure CS with that ability, just like you said.
So King already almost went down bottom. Benny with an early point in the Desolate doing some serious work combined with the overcharge. They will have to pop that now, but you know, King RD's not having the best time. I mean, he's got 21 CS on the Spectre, and he's going to keep chasing the Tidehunter. There's a dagger. He might, I was like, I don't know if you want to dive the tower, sir.
King ID is forced to go back to base already. And I'm not sure this Bracer was the play. I'm not sure what the Bracer was the play from him or the IO, to be honest with you. Benny, you said he just had like no HP and mana, only just got his Ring of Reach, and he's got 18 magic wand charges, so it'll be tough for them to actually bring him down. But I feel as if the tangos he went were a little bit of a waste of his starting gold.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, Jaguares just crushing CS. They're top 3 on all of them in the 20s now.
Yeah.
Normally, you would expect Lifestealer to have a better time into the Mars, but doing fine. Haynes level 4, just keeping up pace with the Lifestealer.
In the back, Battery Assault comes out. Whoa. Hold the phone.
Clockwork?
I mean,
Wait, oh.
he denies himself the creeps there. That is you know, a little bit of mitigation of the damage, but I was going to mention the fact that he went 2 points into cogs and 1 into battery assault.
I mean, that has to be a misclick, right?
It has to be a misclick.
Unless he's legitimately just spamming cogs for mana burn, but that doesn't sound very good.
That is why he lost that fight there to the IO. He did not have 2 points of battery assault. It more than doubles its damage at level 2. And now Nuage's, he gets to collect
Double bounties.
double bounties against the Clockwork of all heroes.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen.
No, it's kind of wild to see.
Clockwork went top as well, so we'll see. They're trying to make a rotation onto Hane. They'll be able to catch him with that Fortune's End. This should be first blood. Not a lot of damage coming out from the Clockwork, but it goes to Costa Bile on the Lifestealer. So he's making up for it at least.
Costa Bile finally managing to find a kill. Coach Megs isn't going to be happy about that when he sees Jaguares pick up 4 bounty runes.
Exorcism on the mid lane, and look at Ma as well as Nuage sitting here just making sure that Mini can work on this tower. He will rotate in on the Clockwork, and it does find the Skywrath Mage. In comes 4DR, Pulse Nova as well. Mini, gotta be careful. Split Earth on the mark. Oracle here as well, but they're afraid to fight under that Exorcism. Rightfully so. Thelacor just finds a haste. That isn't into this.
There's the fortified protecting the catapult, and now they're trying to punish KJ for going too far forward.
Well, easy enough.
Yeah, easy enough, but Team Brazil playing around this catapult. Like, Thelacor, can he get the denial? Oh, you will pay for this. He gets away with it.
He's gone. Oh my gosh. All right, Thelacor clock. I love it.
The absolute mad lad. This is why this guy got to replace Flea. It's you know, good start there for Jaguares though, grabbing that mid tower, one of the most important tower of the game, giving you so much access to the rest of the map. So if Team Brazil not going to be happy about losing that one to the 5-minute catapult, but Brazil, they're looking to play this fast as possible. No way. You just do that?
Do what?
Oh no.
What happened?
Right. King RD bought a crown and then sold it and lost half the gold, I think.
Wait, did he really?
I think so.
Okay, that's unfortunate. He is taking a lot of damage from this Spectre, especially just because this 1 point in Desolate obviously not being reduced by Kraken Shell at all.
Yeah. Oh my god.
He is going for the Meteor Hammer build that we saw the other day, though.
Yeah, he buys the crown again. I don't know how he did that. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe about the recipe. I saw him.
He might have. Well, did he like sell the crown and finish the Perseverance instead?
No.
He already had the Percy.
Yeah, he might have just bought the recipe, and I might be absolutely crazy. I saw him not having nearly as much gold as he should have.
No, he definitely just now bought the recipe, so that's an oof. All right, they're rotating into the jungle. They have Exorcism up in 6 seconds. My guess here is it's top tower, the new objective. Net worth-wise, though, it's looking pretty good for the Spectre. She's top. They will trade bottom tower. The 3 points in Diabolic Edict make pretty good work of that. Obviously, Spectre unable to contest the lane at all. Does have Blade Mail, though. Oh, King RD is here with the Ravage and the Meteor Hammer. They might look for this Death Prophet. It comes out. The Meteor Hammer to follow. Ooh, they have the damage. Goodbye on that Death Prophet. Now Arena's just going to keep them in place. No more chasing potential here from Jaguares. But, you know, King RD, first Ravage put to good use is what I was talking about. It's a great counter to the Exorcism. She wants to go in. Ty Hunter says no. Oh, and 40R. And just casually trying to steal a triple stack. Okay.
Yeah, Ma's not going to be happy about this. And Hane is now here. They toss him back onto the low ground. 40R. He's back up at it again, though.
Thelacor goes down, but I think he's fine for this because 40R is going to do so much damage here, and Nuage is trying to keep this Mars alive. Looks like it's going to be successful. A great infester from Costa Bile, able to get the boys out now. King RD trying to make some space, but they will chase down that Leshrac, as well as take down KJ. I love it. And then 4 points in Crypt Swarm, dude. I'm telling you, this thing is a huge nuke.
Yeah. This thing blasts, man. You're absolutely right. Oh. Death Prophet getting back in there, wasting no time at all. Look at that. That is efficiency right there. He digging a bounty rune out of the ground, leaving it down so Mini can refill his bottle with it.
Oh,
Take notes, kids.
not in my pubs.
Not in my pubs. Snatch up that bounty rune right away like a little greedy goblin. But yeah, that's a nice play there. Efficiency by Hane and Mini. And top lane, Hane, he just goes right back to the tower. But like you said, it's a great counter to the exorcism. Every time you see that come out, you just pop the Ravage and drop the meteor hammer on him afterwards. And
I'm just laughing. King RD like digs up a kobold and it just follows him to the creep wave. He just couldn't be bothered to kill it. He was like, he like started to attack and then canceled and was like, "Ah, screw this, I'm out." Just walked away.
no neutral creeps till you finish your kobold, man.
Let's take a look at jungle items. Both teams have all 4 at 10 minutes. Actually, pretty good timing. You do have the Faded Brooch on the Death Prophet, the Dire. You have Broom Handle on your Lifestealer, but that's about it. I mean, this Poor Man Shield isn't super effective here.
No.
Put it on Tidehunter, right? Kappa?
Yeah. Yeah. Give him the Poor Man Shield. I mean, they give him more than his Kraken Shell right now. 30 damage block versus 26.
Yeah. And 6 Agi. Wow.
Oh, that guy's moving fast with that kind of agility. Benny, he's pretty happy about his Broom Handle.
It's 8 agility. My bad. I didn't realize.
Oh, they buffed it. Yeah, that's why people hold that one over the Iron Branch on some agility here. I was just faster farming.
Do you remember when agility used to give movement speed? How hilarious that was?
That wasn't hilarious. That was a bad time for Dota.
It was the Dark Ages.
Remember when strength gave you status resistance?
Yeah.
King RD, he's just gonna drop here.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He's got Ravage. He's got a tower. But yeah, I mean, this is a great performance from the IO and the Spectre, able to zone out Tidehunter. We've seen Tidehunter dominate these lanes previously, but King RD is really struggling, and this isn't his first time on the Tidehunter by any means.
No, it's not. He's had an excellent job. I mean, we saw this Meteor Hammer build on him before, right?
Yeah,
It
twice
did a
this
ton
tournament.
of work.
Ooh, the rotations. King RD, they're looking for Benny. Thelicor's here as well, level 6. He just haunts out. He's like, later, dude. Bye, Io. You're on your own. Hook shot to cancel. Well played here from the side of Team Brazil. Unable to cancel the haunt, but forces Benny out of the top lane.
Yeah. Benny almost finds the kill on the lifesteal there, but he's just cleared up neutral creeps. So, of course, he just hops in the Centaur, stomps the Spectre, and then runs off to the Ancients afterwards. Not missing a beat here on Kosa B. The man wants to hit his creeps.
Yeah, he wants his Battle Fury. Not normally the build we see out of the Lifestealer. A lot of times it's, this Armlet, Desolator build, but he wants to take it late, and he's going Battle Fury. And honestly, when I look at their draft, I think they do have the late game potential. You do have to worry about Skywrath coming online. Like if Skywrath gets some big kills with the Mars or in the mid game and can kind of snowball from a forward position, it ends up making the life of some of these heroes pretty rough.
Yeah. Sorry, I was a little bit distracted by the Battle Fury thing that you were touching on earlier. I'm confused with that. I'm gonna have to stop myself because probably gonna be some action here in the bottom lane because of the 2 points into the cogs. Actually, there's no point into rocket player to scout out a hook shot.
Yeah, and that's an ability you kind of need to have to hit that hook shot. Oh my god,
Minutes in
again top lane. King RD just getting bullied by Spectre. He's able to clear up the wave, obviously, with the 4 points in Acre Smash, now the 4 points in Kraken Shell. But they're looking for him. I mean, they're sending everyone up here. Kane, he does have Arena. They're going to hit him with that Concussive Blast, spear him against the wall, and that's all you need. You may be able to Kraken Shell off the stun, but you still can't go anywhere.
You can't crack and chill off that wall, baby.
No.
Used to be like
40R gets a haste rune. Very nice. And he's got Boots of Travel just rushing the Aghanim Scepter. Spectre TPing in mid. Clear sign that they're wanting to defend this tower. So they're going to TP top, it looks like, instead.
Yeah, I mean, they have this huge advantage over Team Brazil for control of the map. They don't want to give that up at this point. And Benny, he's
40R is just going to take down Mini here on the Death Prophet.
Nope.
What a reload from Nuages. I honestly thought he was dead. Well, you have King RD here now, so the decision of do they... Yeah, he's just going to go down on the IO. He's going to try and tether on over, but not much you can do here. Well played from the IO, though, getting the Death Prophet out in that situation.
Yeah, Nuages is much happier to drop than that Death Prophet. They're doing a great job of holding on these towers on the map, though, on Jaguares. I mean, they lost bottom one earlier, obviously. They might just lose top to this Meteor Hammer on Tidehunter. Oh my god, you see this? King RD, the small play police are ringing.
What did he do this time?
Sirens? He picked up the bounty rune after he dug it up with his trusty shovel, and 4DR, you know, he tried to make it dash for it, but he just couldn't make it in time.
You know, unlucky. Bottom lane, they lose Steal the Court. KJ's in the river here. Nice disarm. Okay, there's just a lot of fighting happening elsewhere, but KJ's trying to just juke out Hane. Will go down to the God's Rebuke, and now King RD's rotating over. So is 4DR. He has a blink. Whoa, hello there. Arena mid lane. Spear gonna be dodged by the Rage, and Benny, he's just going to come in with that blade mail. 4DR just melts himself. He almost survives thanks to the infest, but they just don't have the damage. And now they can go and turn it around with that exorcism, and they can probably go Roshan with this if they decide.
Yeah, nothing to
He just beelines it.
Yeah, only 1 point in the exorcism, so this is going to be a bit of a struggle. Only 8 spirits, it doesn't do a whole lot. In fact, I'm not sure that you guys can do it. Benny's going to have to do a lot of damage here. If he had the Manta style, this might be a little bit easier, but Tidehunter back up another 15 seconds. Clockwork is on the map and getting in position for a hook shot. This could be dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, Roshan down 2/3 HP. They're still afraid. Benny falling low, though. The heals coming in from this IO, plus the overcharge. They might get it. Hookshot comes in. It hits the Skywrath Mage on the side. Not the target you want to get. The Spear going to put that Clockwork into his own cogs, and Roshan, it's dead before they can grab it. They're going to pick it up on Benny, and now Costabile has to run. False Promise trying to keep him alive. A lot of healing going to come in here thanks to this feast. King RD whips that Meteor Hammer, and there's no Ravage for a while. Great 4-man silence coming in from Mini. They're going to continue the chase, take down the Clockwork. King RD on the run, but Spirit Siphon cannot be purged. Another 2 kills going their way, and you lose the Roshan.
In that fight recap, you can see it somewhat even. Ooh. Careful, 4DR. Spectre is terrifying. You got to get out of there.
Yeah, they're going to get him. First life. So he's baiting 4DR in the Lesh to try and kill, like return a ton of damage with the Blade Mail, but ends up backfiring as he throws the Aegis down.
Yep. Well, he definitely needs that Manta style in order to get out of these roots and whatnot, to be able to continue to chase Leshrac. If he can get his hands on him for even a moment with all these points in Desolate, he do get blown up pretty quickly here. So he'll clear out his triangle, and then he'll, I guess after getting this Ancient stack here, he'll definitely have the money for that Manta.
So what have you been... I haven't seen tons of Death Prophet lately, so I was going to ask, what do you think the build is currently? Because Aghanim Scepter was one of those items that people picked up a lot. He does have Yule's Fated Brooch sitting on 2,000 gold. Do you just rush a BKB here?
No. This one is interesting because I actually thought the Death Prophet wasn't a very strong hero. And of course, I was casting a lot of Perfect World where it was banned out quite a bit, and I was asking Trent when he was streaming the other day why it was so valued. Ooh, bottom lane.
That just takes the tower. He has an infest. They're going to try and get a hookshot onto this Spectre. Ravage is available. Does relocate on the backside, but a beautiful silence not allowing him to get off, but now you do. And this is going to set up a beautiful Meteor Hammer, but the damage from Spectre and this Dispersion, they'll be able to take down 2, and now relocate out to safety. No, he will fall on the IO. 4DR under the cover of an Invis rune, just running down the Skywrath Mage. Should make quick work of that. Benny survives, though. Ends up being a 2 for 3 with a lot of big spells committed.
Benny just barely managing to get out of that, partially due to the IO relocating in, and partially due to the amazing positioning of that wall there, keeping Spectre up. They just couldn't get on top of him. Very well played there by them. Last team fight, a lot of damage dealt back to Team Brazil with that dispersion. But IO not having his mechanism at 18 minutes in the game feels pretty bad.
Yeah, that is a pretty underfarmed IO, and considering how well the lane went, I thought it would have been a little bit better. But yeah, I guess he's died.
Yeah, I saw him coming to the team fight. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be the massive turn. Spectre's gonna heal for like 800 HP. That's all he's gonna need. Jaguares are going to rejoice, and then he was just sort of forced to sit there. No mechanism coming out, but beautiful arena. It did end up saving him on top of that IO, so nice job there by Hane. Just keeping everybody off him. He was like inside the edge of the arena as he was stunned by the Ravage on the Spectre, I think.
Yeah. Now, he did get like the 20 wands charges off or whatever to heal the Spectre, but yeah, you're right. Like, if you have that mech, it's probably
I thought it was like 3 wand charges he had at the time.
Was it?
20.
Oh, it may have. I
Yeah,
thought it
he
was more. Maybe
barely
I was looking
healed
at a
him.
different hero.
It might have been Spectre's wand.
Oh, maybe. I might have been
healed him
looking
up.
at a different hero. But yeah, like King RD, the Ravage is just pretty darn strong so far in this game. And even though he got hit by that, the silence, it is actually just called silence. Wow, what a boring name for a spell.
Listen, okay, this is an El Clasico.
Boring. I don't care.
We used to have multiple spells just called silence. Drow Ranger used to have a spell just called silence.
Yeah.
And before that, in Warcraft 3, it was a spell called Charm, which ended up turning the enemies over to your favor. That is in the default maps. Drow Ranger is a tavern hero that you could hire if you don't have your own. They were all called different things. Altar of Storms and whatnot. I think Altar of Storms with the Orcish one. Anyways, not important. It was an AoE ability called Charm, and then they changed it to Silence when they added Drow Ranger to Dota.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Fun little facts.
God, I miss the good old days of Warcraft 3 sometimes.
I don't. I was not very good at it.
No.
You play much StarCraft?
I hit either platinum or diamond in StarCraft 2 when it first came out. I don't remember which one.
One of the players on the team that I'm managing right now used to play on Complexity StarCraft team. Sasquatch?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I used to play it a lot. I was just a big custom game fan. I loved the campaign as well. I mean, that was the whole reason I got into it. The campaign's amazing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's one thing Blizzard has always done right is their campaigns are usually pretty dang good.
Like your dreams.
But we're not talking about Blizzard. We're talking about Dota. What do you think?
Oh
here,
yeah, I
Neph?
love Valve.
Yeah, Valve.
You guys are great.
Yes, please hire me.
Don't get your hopes up. They don't hire anybody. But let's talk team fights about to happen. Hank getting himself in a position, but Costa Bile is not the target he wants to jump on. It would just be immediately popping that rage if you were to throw at the arena and walking away. So they're forced to disengage, not getting anything from that rotation there.
Io's got that mech that you talked about. Arcane Rune spotted top lane. They want to obviously give this to the Death Prophet.
He's under attack.
So he's just going to protect it, and as a result, they're just going to take the mid-tier 1 tower. They're just too slow to respond. They saw all 4 heroes there in the dire jungle and just walk away.
Yeah. So your smoke rotation did end up getting punished there. We'll see what they take here on Jaguares, though. I mean, you definitely want to take advantage of this Arcane Rune and Exorcism, right?
Yeah. Well, one thing to notice, too, is they did manage to get the double outpost experience here on the side of Team Brazil. Hane just blinks in super aggressive, but they've already TP'd out on the Lifestealer, and Clockwork, he's out as well.
Huh?
They get nothing. They're trying to find these pickoffs, but they're just not connecting, and now 4DR has an Aghanims on this Leshrac.
Yeah, this reminds me a little bit of how Beast Coast was playing when they were still doing lands, just controlling the map so well, shoving out the lanes. Like, even when you had the advantage against them, you just couldn't find them. Even if you managed to find a kill or 2 on them, it wouldn't be significant enough to, I guess, create any gold lead for your team. And now, Team Brazil, every time these fights don't end up happening, it goes back in favor of them.
Mm-hmm. Now, Spectre is pretty dang farmed, right? Does have Blade Mail Manta working towards Eye of Scotty. Lifestealer, however, sitting at the top of the net worth with that Battle Fury Sanj and Yasha. With quite a bit of gold to boot. They will go ahead and infest the Clockwork. I don't think they had vision here. The Spear, it's going to find Oracle, but the Silence is going to prevent him from doing anything to Ravage. It does catch 2. Not an ideal Ravage, but in comes Mini. Got the Exorcism, the BKB. Just going to start running down Brazil, and Leshrac going to be protected for the moment. The False Promise, he's just going to have to TP out, but a Yule's to cancel. Costa Bile, you got to get back in here. You got to help your boy, King RD, channeling a Meteor Hammer in their face, but it's not going to matter. Lesh goes down. King RD will... Did he just Okay, I was like, did he just prevent all of that damage?
Yeah, unfortunately, Kraken Shield does not prevent damage from Exorcism.
Yeah.
And they just go right onto this tower. Exorcism still up for another couple of seconds. Actually, they're forced to back up, but they popped that one with the Arcane Rune there. So Exorcism is going to be back in 60 seconds. Roche not available for another 2 minutes at the very minimum. So it looks like, despite the fact that I took that team fight, they're going to get no objectives from it.
Yeah, this was a rough one. The Ravage like really only caught Skyrath. Was it? It was just Skyrath and Io, I think. I don't think it caught anyone really that important. But
I mean, it delayed some of the damage coming up from the Spectre Haunt, but you want to be able to get more pickoffs with that. You want it to hit the core heroes here. You want to somehow get yourself on top of the Death Prophet, given the fact you have such little stuns to work with on your team. It's got to be the Ravage that does it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And he's not going like this initiation or dangler build type of scenario we see with like the Blink Dagger, right, to follow up.
2020's wild. Go on. You're correct. You're not wrong, but go on.
No, I'm just saying, like he's kind of just like this walking Leviathan. See what I did there? Who's just gonna walk in and use Ravage, and that's it. And Jaguares know this, and so they see the Tidehunter walking in from like the side of the river. They're just like, oh, he's coming this way. We'll just Delta split it out, wait for that Ravage, and then reinitiate. And that's exactly what Death Prophet did. Pops a great Exorcism, like you said, under the Arcane Rune as well. And then the fight's theirs. You got to blow up that Death Prophet.
Yeah, it's a struggle, though. It's going to continue to be a struggle. I mean, you have so many AoE abilities. I think Benny is going to sit on top of wherever the Death Prophet is and then activate that Blade Mail and hit the targets on the back. Like, a lot of the damage from Leshrac is AoE. Same goes for Clockwork, same goes for Tidehunter. So if you're going for the Death Prophet, you're going to get hit by this Blade Mail at the same time, and there's just nothing you're going to be able to do about it.
Yeah, at least not until you have BKB, right? Once you have BKB, you can reduce a lot of the damage it deals back, since it is going to be doing magic damage, right? But
you reduce all the damage from Blade Mail back with BKB now.
Oh, it doesn't return it back in its original form?
It does, but it is blocked by magic immunity now. There's a patch where it wasn't. And that's probably
interesting.
No worries, I got you.
All right. Thank you, Neph. Yeah, I remember there was a lot of changes to that item, but yeah, did not catch the one where it doesn't pierce spell immunity at all.
Well, everyone was complaining about the fact that some heroes just wouldn't have a game when somebody else built Blade Mail.
That does make sense, yeah.
Such as like
Lifestealer mid, caught by silence, but there's going to be a perfect false promise from KJ. Keeping Costa Belay alive as he just pops that rage. Now the Infest into a Heartbeat. Wait a minute, why is it so slow? It has 2 movement. It like literally didn't move. What was going on there? And now he's just silence coming up with a nice Ravage from King RD, channeling that Meteor Hammer. It's going to connect onto 2, but Mini just pops his BKB. This Exorcism just doing so much work. Delacour trying to run away, but he's chasing down King RD underneath the tower. Like you said, you cannot prevent damage from this Exorcism, and Mini has no intention of slowing down as he's going to be able to finish him off. 3 heroes for Jaguares, and probably a mid-tier 2, potentially tier 3 to boot.
Yeah, God, I mean, they're not going to have the tier 3 tower, but they could just move their way over to Roshan, responding in just 3 seconds here. Instead, they go up to the triangle here, establish control over it, and form up the ancient camps. They could just wait for the ancients to respawn, then farm them again here, or block them. That would do a little bit of damage. Yeah, he blocks it.
Look at you, Neph.
Look at me. But Roshan respawn now, and there's illusion rune right outside the pit. Even better than a double damage rune for Spectre.
Actually, it's funny how that is the case for this hero. Yeah.
Come on, let's see it, Benny. Boom.
Go to Roche. Scout it.
Roche, come on, please.
They're
Benny.
pinging it now. They're like, guys, what if Roche is alive?
Well, what if we did Roche? Wouldn't that be wacky?
Wouldn't it be wacky? 5 Desolate procs?
Yeah. What's better than 2? Or even 1? 5. 4DR ends up finding it. I mean, if they get these illusions in here, should contribute quite a bit to these team fights.
KJ does get a nice D ward there. Well, if they smoke up on the other side of the river, they know where you are, and so they will just go ahead and infest this Clockwork. He's going to try and get A nice hookshot target here. Has Flare cooling down right now. Hane is going to be the one that he might get found. The Death Prophet, but they instead go for the IO. This damage, he gets the bash. Really sick timing there, but the mech able to get out for the time being. Opal Moon's going to stop that happening. Mini pops that BKB. King RD on the low ground. You don't have a Ravage on this guy, and Benny is just shredding your heroes. 40R protected by the BKB, but it doesn't matter. Too much physical damage just coming out from these heroes, and now King RD once again forced to run. You have an Exorcism in 3, which is just gonna help make Roshan that much easier, and your Tidehunter's dead. Tauntaun over to the mid lane. They're gonna chase after Lifestealer. The silence from Skywrath Mage. It's a 5-man wipe instead, and screw Roshan, go high ground.
No, they're not wasting any time here. They know how dangerous Team Brazil are. They need to break the high ground while they have the opportunity. They don't want to give them the chance. They popped that Exorcism as it wasn't used in that last team fight, and this tower is just going to get ripped to shreds. Mini's going to move as close as possible into that tower if the ghost comes back to him. Just like that, Rax is down. KJ, he can't do anything by himself. They need the Tidehunter here, and he's not up for another 15 seconds. After this, they can go into Roshan now. Beautiful getting that first set of Rax.
Yeah, this is a very solid play here from Jaguares. There's another Arcane Rune here, which they'll still probably take on the Death Prophet, but it's not going to give you that reduced cooldown on Exorcism this time. Have to cancel that TP. That would have been a little bit too bold.
They find the Arcane Rune, so unfortunately no bottle available. Wait, is somebody else holding it or something?
Yeah, someone else was holding. I think Nuages was.
No, I don't. Okay, yeah, he was. I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Ooh, 40R's been found. He does get the BKB off. He might just get bursted. He does. Oh, that is a huge fight. You're dead on the ledge. No buyback, and he's most of your team's damage if he's allowed to survive. Roshan, Aegis Cheese now on the Spectre. They are going to find Tidehunter. The Yule's easy setup for him. Silenced up. He should be able to purge off a lot of these debuffs, but oh, well.
Threading the needle there.
Convenient spear sometimes just helps out, but oh, there's the bash. Yeah, at this point, there's just too much damage, too much slows coming in from Jaguares, and they will find the kill. I mean, you have Eye of Scotty now on the Spectre after that basher, and she's going for the Abyssal Blade now.
Yeah, I mean, between the Eye of Scotty and the Spectral Dagger, so you're just not moving. Which I think is what happened to that Lifestealer earlier when he hopped in the Harpy and had 100 movement speed. It lowered the Lifestealer's movement speed, and then it lowered the Harpy's movement speed as well, and I think it stacked after he hopped in.
Is that what it was? I was like, why is he not moving?
That had to be it. I can't think of anything else it could have been. It shouldn't work like that, but that Harpy really was just going at like 110 movement speed or something like that. We can always check the VOD afterwards, do our research, figure out exactly what it is, run some tests in the lab, right?
Yeah.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Just clearing out the bottom lane here on the Spectre.
Nice little regen rune here for the Death Prophet, able to bottle that. The Arcane Rune still has some timing for them to use this Exorcism with. I'm assuming they're going to, right? There's no reason. They should be able to just take the tier 3 here, then threaten the high ground once again with this Exorcism. Benny going to finish off the tower. You do have fortification here, but I mean, you're sitting behind an Aegis Cheese. I don't know how you stop this. There you go. Perfectly timed that Exorcism with 1 second left. The Spear is going to hold that Tidehunter back onto the tower. He does obviously have this Ravage available, but 40R, he's forced to BKB and try and turn this around. Now you got nothing left on the Leshrac. No saves besides the Oracle. Goes to be like trying to slow down this push, but they get the silence onto the Oracle. They just go in on Hane. The Spear able to get the Tidehunter, but the Ravage, it doesn't connect onto Mini. He's the one just destroying the team. Benny on the backside, taking up 3 heroes here from Brazil, but again, he's got the Aegis. He's gonna come back with a second life. Where's the cheese at, sir? I don't know where the cheese went, but they forced 3 buybacks now. The tier 3 tower, it's going to go down. You have no Ravage left. Oh, there it is. They just put it on over to Spectre. I knew it was somewhere. Well, now you have 2 lives on Spectre. Spear into the wall. King RD, again, just getting just completely controlled by the Spectre. There's nothing you can do here.
Yeah. Again, I was gonna say before this team fight, you just have too much HP. The Spectre's now too big to fail, and if you lose your Leshrac, that's the majority of your damage. Goes to be like can't fight into him by himself. They get Mars on the back line, but while they're going on him, they do blow up KJ, who's crucial to these fights.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a beautiful Blink Spear once again coming in from Hane. You know, Costabile is going to be protected by False Promise, but he had to BKB just to survive. And you still lose the Clockwork. This should be the end of the game. 20,000 gold lead all of a sudden, 2 lanes of barracks. And all you lost was an Aegis and a Skywrath Mage.
Yeah. A lot of XP and gold going the way. The fight recap not really doing justice to this team fight, only showing it, I think, half of it there. But again, Spectre just too big to bring down, and the majority of your damage does come from his Leshrac, and that's all going to be reflected from that blade mail as soon as your BKB ends. Spectre just so good at playing into this Leshrac that everyone seems to value so much right now.
Yeah, this might be an oversight. I think we've seen the Leshrac picked a ton in this tournament, but I don't think we've seen it really do well once against the Spectre.
Yeah.
Maybe in the Arkosh series, but I don't think they had Spectre as the core, right?
No. They had, I forget exactly what the matchup was in that one. Let's double check. Arkosh versus who?
It was 4 Zoomers, I believe.
We'll check that one out real quick after this. But Spectre taking down this last tier 2 tower here.
Yeah, open up that third lane of racks, which is Mega Creeps, and you do have Exorcism because of that Arcane Rune. So you can just go back onto the high ground once again. Ravage cooling down 2 seconds now. So you do have something to try and turn the fight, but you're so far behind in XP here and gold. They're just gonna go ahead and smoke onto the Clockwork, looking for the IO would be ideal, but he misses the hook shot. He gets the Spirit Vessel off, and they are trying to close the gap, but do they have any way to kill the IO? He's just out, and they've speared King RD onto the backside. He's just dead before anything happens. He can't even afford to Ravage because of the BKBs. Minnie's Exorcism just chewing through these heroes. They might be able to get the IO, and they finally do, but Costabile protected by the BKB, but not for long, as Hane and Benny will just run him down. Rage does not save you there, and Minnie once again just chasing down the Leshrac. It's just a fantastic game from Jaguares all around as they take game 1 here in our first best of 2.
Yeah, solid performance in the last team fight. You know, Lifestealer, he was so kited so far behind, he couldn't get his hands onto anybody. He spent the entire duration of his rage and half his BKB trying to find a target that the game was just too far gone. So despite the fact that this Tidehunter Meteor Hammer build shown some success for them earlier in this tournament, that just wasn't it today. Jaguares, they played fast on the rest of their heroes. They got the mid tower very early on the Death Prophet, getting extra control over your map. And I think the biggest thing of all was your Leshrac pick was very heavily punished by the Spectre. 6-0 and 23.
Yeah, and then you have... we didn't really even talk about Mars this game, but Mars had an amazing game as well. He went 11-1 and 20, finished the game with like Blink BKB, Yules, and an Assault Kuros, just amping so much damage for his whole team. Like, he had an amazing game himself, like some great Blink Spears early on. He pretty much always managed to find, or at least put the Tidehunter in the arena, and then their team just runs down other heroes instead. Like, the control that came up from Jaguares, the game plan here was just better.
Yeah, and the arena solution for the Tidehunter feels so good as well. He'll crack and shell off a lot of other things, but let's just keep him in the cage, you know? If he tries to get out, he runs into the wall, takes tons of damage. Just great gameplay by them. But this is only the first of 4, Ricky, is it not?
Yeah, we have a lot of games coming up today. Yeah, game 1 between Jaguares, Team Brazil goes the way of Jaguares. Brazil has a double header. I mean, maybe they're just warming up. They got to catch their stride here. We'll be back with game number 2 in our first series of the day. Stay tuned, everyone.